What's up, everyone? It's Adar coming back at you with another episode of Startup Engineering Daily. Back from vacation and trying a more travel-oriented setup. So hopefully the audio quality isn't too bad, but let's get right into it. Also, obviously, I missed a lot of drama over the past couple of weeks, including the Paul Graham and Palantir one. But I don't even really think there was a conclusion to that. It's always interesting to see these big dogs battle it out. But we'll keep posted if there's any updates. The first story today is a vulnerability involving rogue request headers with Remix and React Router. We have Guillermo coming out with a tweet how Vercel is essentially stripping the specific headers that caused the vulnerability. And I haven't seen any tweets from React Router or Remix regarding this, so I don't know if they just don't tweet on the weekends or something, but it is something to keep an eye out. I know that Cloudflare has also deployed their fix for it, but the beef between Vercel and Cloudflare continues to rage on. But if you are self-hosting Remix or React Router, just make sure you update, I guess, to version 7.5.2 or whatever is the next version, and it should be fixed out. Next, we have a continuation of the beef between Vercel and Cloudflare. I don't know why I love this one so much. I really don't pick a side. I'm a big fan of both companies, but essentially this guy Sivaram was talking about how he uses Cloudflare in front of his Vercel deployments, which actually doesn't really make sense. I don't see using that. I think you should either use like a VPS with Cloudflare or just buy into Vercel completely and just hope that their DDoS protection improves over time. But you can see here, Guillermo came back because this guy Dan Connect, I think how you pronounce that, like the basketball player, said that using Cloudflare can speed you up on the way to Vercel, but then Guillermo just comes out quick. So he says, no, Cloudflare slows you down, reduces availability, and prevents us from protecting customers effectively. And he even called them out, asking if they had patched their remix run, but at this point, 3 a.m. On the 27th, they have patched it, I believe. So he's missing there, but you can see he also ran a benchmark for Cloudflare and Vercel beat it on speed the whole time. The only thing that he's missing here is that the DDoS protection for Vercel is definitely missing a lot of features, or I don't know how it works behind the scenes, but DDoSes can absolutely still get through it. And when they're blocking requests, it's literally like 20 to 50% maximum in my experience. So the DDoS protection still needs a lot of work, but the Vercel CDN I'm sure is extremely fast compared to Cloudflare, and it'll be cool to see how these guys race to the bottom because low latency is good for everybody. Next, I just have like a little tweet from Nikita Bier, who is known for having released the same app twice, which is essentially an anonymous messages app through Instagram. First one was called TBH, which he sold to Facebook, and then the second one was called Gas, which he sold to Discord. So if you're a consumer founder, he's one of the people to look up to for sure. Essentially, what he says is that your analytics should just be name, registration date, last active time, and number of sessions. And you just want to see who the users who have been the most recently active have been and try to reach out to them and learn from them. This is how you build product market fit, in his opinion, I guess. So I'm going to have to try this out for sure, and maybe there will be some interesting results. Next, we have Jeff Weinstein, whose product at Stripe. Essentially, Stripe is looking to build some MCP, which is Model Context Protocol developed by Anthropic. It's kind of like APIs, but for LLMs. I'm not really sure where it's going, but we have talked about it on this channel before. And they're just looking for some feedback from MCP developers. So if you are into that space, could be cool to reach out to them and maybe get a partnership, maybe try to sell an MCP payments company to them. That'd be really cool. Next, we just have a quick update from Waymo. Apparently, they're doing 250,000 weekly rides, which is really cool. And it seems like Google is exploring a way for you to actually own your own Waymo, which could drive you around and possibly be a robo-taxi for you to make some money. So that industry is definitely coming quick. I don't really see how we could avoid it. Self-driving cars are 100% on the way. Fewer accidents, fewer deaths, etc. But also the ability to run your own Uber and make money from it definitely seems very interesting. So we'll see how this continues to unfold. And on that same note, there is some beef now between Waymo and Uber. I guess there always has been. Elon came out and there has been this graphic going around. You can see this one, which basically says that Waymos are 3 times as expensive and they use LiDAR and radar and cameras, etc., which I do think there is a flaw there, right? Because OpenPilot, GeoHot, AI, I do still think they're all on computer vision AI, and we might be able to do full self-driving without any LiDAR. This graphic is definitely wrong because, as we see here from this other meme account, Waymo is doing 250,000 robotaxi trips each week, and Tesla still hasn't done a single one. And Elon's been talking about the ability for you to rent out your Tesla for years. I'm not sure when I first heard it, but it was definitely in the 2010s. So it's been a long time, and they still haven't delivered on that, and that's kind of like the Tesla standard. But I'm sure when it does come out, it's going to be a great product. Next, we have a tweet from Andrew Clark, who's on the React core team, and I guess he also works at Vercel on Next.js. And they're just talking about some new prefetching stuff, some optimizations that's coming to App Router. It's really cool. I like these tweet threads because they really go behind the scenes on what's happening. You can see like they have this thing called layout deduping now, where if you have a shared store slash items layout, at the higher level, like it would be like store folder slash layout.tsx or whatever, then it'll only fetch that once, even if you're loading the same page twice. Also, just like with prefetching of links, you can see now they're reprioritized on hover touch. The link goes off screen, then the prefetch is canceled. Just cool stuff like that to make it a little more optimized. I really like how Vercel, Next, React, whoever, they really focus on like the little things that make things faster because there's no magic happening here. It's just science. And the more you can reduce latency, the more you can make it more optimized, the better the product will be. This is a really cool thread, and I'm happy to be following Andrew now and hoping to see more updates from him on React and Next, etc. Then we have a tweet from Evan Bacon, who's the creator of Expo Router. Just a little demo here. You can see of him using React Compiler, which essentially is statically compiling React instead of using interpretation, I guess. I'm not too deep on it, but I do know the point of React Compiler is it's supposed to make everything feel native and really quick. And you can just see here, I'm assuming these like green boxes are like re-renders, so there's a lot less re-rendering, and it's just really quick and snappy. And then next, we just have this interesting release from Upstash regarding caching for Drizzle specifically, I guess. I'm not sure if it works with other databases, but essentially you can write data to your database and then serve it directly from a Redis cache, Redis compatible Upstash cache, I guess. And this is cool, but we definitely need more details. Like, what does the pricing look like with this? Like, are you just storing every write inside of a Redis cache? Is that even a good practice? These are still things I'm trying to figure out personally for my own products, but I feel like just caching everything is kind of pointless. Obviously, we want low latency, but we also don't want to have too much overhead and just paying for everything in memory. If you have a 10 gigabyte database, then do you need a 10 gigabyte like Redis instance? I'm not sure. So I'll try to keep updated with this, try to look more into it. But for now, if you're using Drizzle and Upstash together, you could have this cool little cache plugin on the Drizzle initialization. The last story for today is from Better Auth, which I haven't used personally, but I've heard really great things. Kind of like an improved Next Auth. Maybe it's framework compatible or framework independent, I guess, as well. But they're bringing SAML support, which is essentially SSO. So I know that it costs a lot of money for like Clerk, et cetera, to support SSO. I'm not sure if what they're offering is bigger than SAML, but if this is what I think it is, then this is huge because you can build SSO, which is an enterprise feature, charge $1,000 a month for your SaaS and just plug it in here with literally a SAML plugin and one function call. And that's why I like this tweet from Dak Devs as well. I haven't heard of, but he seems to be a founder and developer. Oh, previously at Weedmaps, which is interesting. Yeah, like Auth is not the future. I'm not sure how they're still making money. I'm sure that's a lot of legacy. I don't really know new people who are signing up for it, but the future is absolutely rolled Auth libraries, open source, no payment. Like Auth should be solved by now. And as an ecosystem, all we should care about is security and making that easy. The money should be made from the feature sets and from the user experience and the branding, in my opinion. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We're back on the grind, and we'll see you tomorrow.